Well, it's April 1st. Welcome to the Legion of Reason Diversion, episode 228 and counting. And it being April 1st, how could Easter be on a more appropriate day? April Fool's Day, of course, but, you know, maybe Halloween. I mean, it's more appropriate for zombies and leches. But we can't have everything, right? So, oh well. And today's episode, a mother tries to prove the existence of God to her children by letting Jesus take the wheel with hilarious consequences. In Catholic Watch, Pope Francis refuses to apologize to victims of church-run residential schools. A petition to change the name of an Ottawa ice cream dispensary has received around 10,000 signatures, and a boycott has been called to force Sweet Jesus to change its name. May I offer the suggestion of Holy Hell as a new name, but oh well. In Toronto, debate over Muslim prayer accommodation in public schools erupted into Quran shredding, and police were forced to shut down the school district meeting. Iqra Khalid, Liberal MP for Mississauga Erin Mills, weighed in on Twitter, expressing the hope of swift justice on what charge I don't really know. Scottish YouTuber Mike Meechan, who is better known on the internet as Count Dankula, was convicted of a hate crime for the misdeed of filming his pug performing Nazi salutes. Comedians such as Ricky Gervais condemned the decision. Well, how's everybody this evening?
It's cold.
It's cold. Yeah, yes, it's definitely cold, unseasonably so. Yeah, it sucks.
But happy Easter.
Yeah, happy Easter.
Happy April Fool's.
Happy Easter. Woo! I'll drink to that.
We're doing our dinner tomorrow, so.
We did ours yesterday.
Yeah.
Mine's tomorrow.
Oh, before I forget.
Did anybody pull any pranks?
No.
No, I couldn't think of anything good. Damn it.
My daughter stayed in bed.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea. I like that. Anyway, before I forget, next week we're going to have a special guest on, the editor of the Claremont Independent that broke the story of colonialism in physics being forced upon physics students, which is really, whatever. We're going to talk about that. Yeah, what?
We have Stuart is on our Facebook page, and there's no audio apparently.
There's no audio.
I'm just going to check this other page.
Why is there no audio? There should be audio. There should be audio.
Let me ask him.
Mute your mic. Mute your mic. Mute your mic.
Sorry. I thought everybody would like to hear me thinking out loud.
Okay. Yeah. Mostly the typing. Sure. It should be, the audio should be perfect, actually. I don't know why.
He says he has it on the PC, but not on the phone, so.
Okay. I don't understand that.
Yeah. I think it's more a device issue than a feed issue then.
Yeah, I would think so. Let me just check it on here. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand. Now we got audio in the YouTube feed, so anyway. Where was I going with it? Oh, yeah. So we're having a special guest next week, and we're going to be talking about that specific incident as well as the statistics class, which had, using social justice as examples, which is fine as far as it goes, but it depends on whether you're pushing an ideology at the same time or not. I think social justice is in dire need of good applied statistics, but most of the time they just get the stats wrong. Yeah, what else? What was this? I was going to say something else and I can't remember, but anyway, let's move on. So this mother, I got to bring up this is just, it could have turned out much worse than it did. There we go. Mother crashes car into pole to prove to kids God is real, police say. And the kids ratted her out. It doesn't there's nothing in here that tells us what led up to this.
Or how that would prove God. Like the fact that they survived.
Well, no, I think that
after she told them to put the seatbelts on.
Yeah.
Luckily,
when people are emotionally invested in something like religion, they'll obviously on some level this person knew something bad could happen, and kind of there's a seed of doubt there, but they're going to look back on this incident and say, okay, see, my kids are okay, as opposed to cripes, God just pushed us into a cement post.
Shouldn't he have prevented the whole accident, though?
Yeah, you'd think, but they won't think that way. They'll always rationalize it emotively, right? It's they're just too emotionally invested in their religious belief. But the kids
it's like that guy who got mauled by a lion. Did you hear about that one? He was going to prove to his congregation that God would protect him.
Yeah, that was a while back.
I thought it was just another recent one. He got bitten in the ass.
Got bitten in the ass.
He got bitten in the ass. He didn't get eaten. He just had those injuries. Yeah. I think the other guy got eaten.
Oh, well. Yeah, there was one guy who got eaten. That was the one I was thinking of.
This guy just had a bit, but...
I'm going to show the actual... You could see in the feed here. I'm going to keep the volume off here, but shoot.
Showing a car
Let's see. There we go. There's no volume there. Let's go back. Okay, there we go. So you can see. I'm going to bring it up a little bit farther. You can see where the car actually goes racing through an intersection. And if this had happened at a time of day, you can see at the top of the screen, it just goes through a sign and then wham, right into a post. This is a traffic cam. This is on WSB TV. You can go take a look at that video. They're incredibly lucky that if this had happened during a time of day that was where traffic was an issue, they could have killed somebody else. I mean, she could have killed somebody else. So this could have been much worse.
She still got her kids taken away, though, right?
Yeah, they're now with their grandparents. She's been charged with child... what's the term? Child abuse. Or was it in child endangerment? Or something? Yeah, child endangerment, I think. And so her kids, 5 and 7, they actually talked to the police, and the police were asking what was going on. And I'll play the clip here, which is. Come on.
Randy, very quickly, pay attention to the toll-free number.
I was close.
Okay.
You were saying blah, blah, blah. I love God.
Told them to buckle up, and the next thing you know, she accelerated.
Were you on the wrong side of the road or on the right side of the road?
The wrong side.
You were on the wrong side.
So we would have got hit anyway. He was actually telling us to believe in God, so nothing will happen to us. And dying is not a part of your life. Don't never believe that. The only thing that's a part of your life is life.
Yeah, so the kid, it doesn't tell you what led up to this, but the kid ratted her mother out, or maybe his or her mother out, and said that she basically accelerated with her eyes closed. Like, what?
At least there was video to back the kid up too.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, and so they arrested her on the spot, and yeah, she's out on a $22,000 bond. And yeah, what do you say to?
That's insane.
This person shouldn't be allowed to be part of the human race. It's. What is it? George Carlin said, think of the average person's intelligence and then realize that half the population is stupider. Mm-hmm. There you go. Okay.
No.
That's it.
Just
that's all I got.
The kids are okay. It would be kind of funny, but they're
well,
young.
It is. Yeah, because that's the thing. I expect that they will be future guests on this podcast. They have first-hand experience.
Scared straight.
Yeah, scared atheist. It's like, Christ, Mom. But do you
see atheists running around telling their kids, "Hey, we don't know what happens after we die. Nothing. Let's crash the car and find out." Right?
I can't say I've ever.
No, that's just not a thing. Right?
You can't make this shit up. I mean, we can laugh about it now because no one was hurt. But,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But then a family's been disrupted because of an act of stupidity. Mm-hmm. That's all you can say.
Well, abuse. I mean, I think it's abuse.
I would have been so scared if I was in that car.
That's probably why the kid ratted her out.
It's like, how often is this going to happen? Once a year?
Yeah.
Once a month? How many cars can she go through? Did she get insurance?
She ain't going to get insurance now. There's no way. No one. Not even Geico.
She's get certified and not be able to drive at all now, at least.
I hope so. What she did was unconscionable, but what's next on the docket? What do we got? We got Pope Francis. Yes, Pope Francis. He's just December.
It's now time for the Legion of Reasons Catholic Watch.
I need to make a visual for that. I'm going to have to do that. Animate a visual with bleeding text and the whole bit. So a couple of people pointed out something that I had actually forgotten. The Reconciliation Committee that the Government of Canada created in order to, look at how to handle the debacle that was the residential schools, which so many people suffered through. Some died as a result of it, and it's a terrible blot on Canadian history. These schools were administered by, amongst others, the Catholic Church.
Yeah, and the Anglican,
but
mostly Catholic.
Mostly Catholic. Mount Cashel, I think, was Catholic. That was one. That's the one that was really the worst.
I found the stats. The Anglican Church issued apologies. Their churches operating boarding schools have issued apologies. The Anglican Church issued one in 1993, followed by Presbyterian in 1994, and United Church in 1998.
United? That sounds... Oh my.
So the Catholic Church, the main one, the main perpetrator, has not.
Well, they did apologize to Stephen Harper.
The church did, but they want a Pope. That was my understanding.
That's right.
For Catholic.
That's right. Yeah,
I just kind of remember it. It was under Harper, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Wasn't it?
That's right. So they apologized to Harper. They did not apologize to the people who were actually wrong. I mean, Stephen Harper was not a resident.
Harper provided an apology on behalf of the government in 2008. And then other apologies, the Catholic Church has apologized. In 2010, Benedict
Pope Palpatine.
gave an apology to victims of sexual abuse in Ireland. In 2015, Pope Francis apologized in Bolivia for grave sins of colonialism in the New World. So there's been... I found an article, and I don't know if you're aware of it, Randy, but it's called Pope's Refusal to Apologize for Church's Role in Residential Schools Might Be About Money.
Oh, yeah, certainly it is.
Did you see that one?
No, I haven't, but I'm sure it is, because that's the same with the hiding of, I think it's the Boston Diocese, was hiding assets.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll send the link over. So they're fighting over, $29 million, $25 million. In 2013, the federal government took them to court because of the $29 million for Healing Foundation was short by $1.6 million. The fundraising effort for $25 million for healing programs had raised a $3.7 million only. Lawyers for both parties met. The federal lawyer wrote a letter to the Catholic entities lawyer proposing that they would settle for $1.2 million and be released from all matters between the parties, and that was interpreted as all matters, including the $25 million for healing programs. And the matter went to court. The court upheld the church's interpretation that the Catholic entities had reason to believe the deal had been reached and the agreement was binding. Therefore, because of a legal gaffe on the part of the federal lawyer, the Catholic entities were able to walk away from fundraising obligations.
Oh.
So now if they're apologizing, I guess...
Instead of doing the right thing, they get out on a loophole, basically.
Technicalities, and they kind of want to walk away from the whole thing because you would think apologizing would release them even more, but...
Well, they don't want to accept legal responsibility.
And it says, while the Catholic entities were arguing they should pay less, the hearings were being held across Canada, and residential school survivors were telling stories of deprivation, loneliness, and abuse at the hands of the very people that were reneging on the agreement. So, what a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even hear about this stuff as a kid, and their victims speaking in schools and high schools now, you know, telling about how people in my generation weren't even told about this, and I told her that's true. I never heard about this in high school or junior high.
Yeah.
I heard about it through First Nations friends. You know, issues with their aunts, and you know, like one friend's aunt had been involuntarily sterilized, and all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, that
so,
did happen, yeah. Yeah, it was cultural genocide. It was what happened.
Cultural, yeah. Families torn apart, children torn away, didn't know their language even more. I never heard about this stuff until like in the last 10 years. So
it's good that it's out there.
Yep,
well, yeah, how do you fix something if you don't understand it? And if I, as an ignorant white person, come across a native and I don't understand...
Well, there are no more residential schools, thankfully. And
I understand more now.
Yeah, I remember this from the 80s. There was a lot of issues, in particular Mount Cashel. But then I was a news hound since my teens, so I was always monitoring the national news.
Whereas I didn't even have a TV.
Yeah,
so. Well, I could tell you so many reasons why I didn't have a TV. My mom would watch something, and she's a paranoid schizophrenic. This is why we didn't have a TV. The things she would say, like Lois Lane would have a coffee in Superman. We'd be watching Superman on TV, and my mom would just go off about how that coffee was drugged, and that ruined the rest of the movie because all she did was rant through the whole thing after that. And of course, we didn't have a VCR.
Well,
might as well not have had when she
glad this is therapeutic.
When I was 13. That's what I had to put up with.
Anything else on that?
Well, I expect now they'll never apologize because it seems like they're too afraid of being put on the hook for more money, I guess, is what I'm getting out of the article, which is disgusting.
Okay. Next on the docket. We're just going to go through this real quick. Oh, Sweet Jesus. Yeah, Sweet Jesus. So,
where is this in the States? I've never heard of that.
No, it's in Ottawa, I believe. Toronto-based. It's Toronto-based.
Oh.
A petition demanding that the 3-year-old chain, so it's been around for 3 years old. I mean, for 3 years. You know, somebody must have seen this. You know, there was a Jack Astor's, you know, the chain, the restaurant chain. There was one on Southland in McLeod. At night, the sign used to be lit up with a couple of letters blacked out. And so it read Jackass. And somebody complained.
Whoops.
Seriously. Don't look at the damn sign. Seriously, come on.
I remember one time we used to go to Montana every once in a while, and we used to go to this place called the Black Angus, and their G had got burnt out.
Okay, that's bad.
There is a God.
We have badass Jacks
funny.
here. No one complains about it. I mean, like, has anyone heard of badass Jacks? But oh my God, sweet Jesus, that's not even fair. You'd think they'd be happy. You'd think that'd be blessed to ice cream. Like, what?
No kidding.
What is their issue?
I love this.
Maybe it's an idol. I don't know.
You see this creepy, you see this really creepy promotional image, and people on YouTube and Facebook can see this. I'm just like, this is like the clown in It. You know,
What is this?
this little blonde girl with I guess it's some on her ice cream cone is drizzled some strawberry or raspberry stuff, and it's all over her face.
Oh,
And she's got
I'm just
fangs
like-
or whatever. She's missing her front teeth.
Oh yeah,
She's a
she's
little
missing her
kid.
front teeth. Yeah, it's like that's just
I kinda-
creeping me out. I'm not sure that's. I don't know.
kid's enjoying it. God,
More like
she looks like
well,
she's indulging.
Actually, she hasn't taken a lick of this yet because the cone is perfect. So
Wait, but
she's done
got
something
stuff on
before
it.
this, and she's thinking, oh, dessert. So she's probably eaten somebody else's arm, and and I don't know. It just creeps me out a bit.
That's funny. Some people got upset, I guess, because she looks like John Benet. That
Oh,
kid that
John
got
Benet
killed,
Ramsey.
right?
Yeah.
Doesn't.
Yeah, she.
I don't
Oh my
think so.
God.
either.
All
I thought
kids
she
look
was more
the
like
same.
girl from Wendy's or something.
All kids that age look the same. You know.
It's
That's why I never had
I had a
kids.
little blonde-haired daughter when she was little, and I
See, there you go.
she looked like a lot of other little blonde-haired kids for sure.
Yeah, exactly. They all look the same.
Yeah.
There you go.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh my
In a crowd of kids, I sometimes couldn't tell her. You know, I tell her
So much for the penguins when they're like, oh, they can recognize their parents immediately. You're like, I don't know about that. Oh yeah.
So are they? Did you read if they're going to change their name?
Oh, no,
or are they
they're-
just getting more
no.
popular now?
No,
hope so.
they're not. Yeah, totally. This is free advertising. They're not going to change. their name.
Yeah.
And so, the petition reads, your blasphemy of Jesus is unacceptable. Choosing the name of our Lord for a brand of soft serve ice cream is totally offensive and revolting. Well, so freaking what?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Who cares what
I'm
these people
offended.
think?
What is Steve?
I'm
Steve-
offended by the
Steve Price say?
petition. Sorry, what?
You know, I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have even
fucking
tried
bad.
it.
I'm offended they're offended.
Well, I would never have gone to a shop called
See how that
Sweet
works?
Jesus because I would have thought they were Bible thumpers, but now I want to because I know they're not. If
I wonder if they sell it in like grocery stores here. I haven't seen it. I've never not looked for it, but you know,
they're not like
I've got an ice cream fan.
You got to
base,
listen
but
to this. Okay,
that I might have to try.
you got to listen to
if I
this.
ever am in the area.
The petition also incorrectly claims that the stylized S in the chain's name mimics the Nazi symbol for Hitler's paramilitary organization, the SS.
Wow.
They went to Godwin's Law. Straight there. Boom.
I hope they understand that Hitler was Catholic and the church kind of backed him up.
Yeah, they did. He never was excommunicated. He was a lapsed Catholic, but he was still raised Catholic. And
he
believed
still
very
kept
fervently in
Catholic,
God. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, these people are crazy.
Well, basically, thanks for the somebody.
Amusement.
So somebody. Okay, here. Somebody tweeted, "Good God, America, seek help." America.
This is Canada.
No, it's they're expanding to the U.S. That's where
Oh, are
the
they?
petition is coming from.
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
It's the Americans that are doing this, not Canadians.
Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, yeah. So Canadians are okay. Okay.
Damn Canadians, blasphemous Canadian. Oh my god.
Blame Canada.
No, nobody set a peep up here. You know.
Oh yeah, of course. For 3 years, no one
Separates
said a
their
peep.
church and state like they do.
Idiots. Jeez. This is one of the things that the right and the left have in common is they are so easily outraged over things that you just question their sanity about. It's crazy. What else we got here? Let's put it back on. We got. Oh yeah. The debate in a Muslim over Muslim prayer accommodations at public schools. Yeah, this is in Toronto, Peel district. Let me see if I got to bring up the. Where is? Oh, here we go. Now, if there is such a thing as Islamophobia, this definitely approaches it. These people were ripping. I'll just play this because I haven't actually seen this video yet. But this man is ripping stuff out of a Quran.
Causing this. You're causing this.
You should all retire. You might as well retire.
That's a hate book. That's a book of hate you got there. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Stand down. Shame on you.
Muslims in UK went into the parliament school in Ottawa. They're going to be killed.
It's opinion.
Just like
And
England.
Islam sucks. You don't give a shit about the kids getting raped either, do you?
It's a religion of hate.
Anyway, it's good enough. Okay, it's actually ended there anyway.
They sound crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
They do the shame, and all this they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Although that one woman turns it right back on him.
Yeah, and she was the correct one. I mean, this is hateful speech for sure. No question.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if Islam is a religion of hate and violence, so is Christianity.
So the Christian Bible, have they not read it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, they haven't. They haven't.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's a carbon copy of the Old Testament. So, if, like I said, if there is such a thing as Islamophobia, this approaches it because it's fear-based. It's very fear-based, and it's hypocritical, of course. You know, the vast majority of Muslims are peaceful.
I don't like the word Islamophobia, but it's certainly hatred directed at Muslims. You know, I have no problem calling that bullshit out.
Yeah, this is this is an irrational fear of Muslims. I think that qualifies.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, it's.
Well, no, I think Islamophobia would be the fear of Islam, right?
Yeah, well, that's not irrational. I fear Islam too.
The Quran for the same reason they should be ripping apart the Bible.
Well, they should shut up and make their point like adults.
Oh yeah, they were just. I was going to say they act like kids. They act like children.
Yeah. Temper tantrum. You know, parents would smack their child upside the head if they behaved that way. You know, maybe not. I don't advocate smacking kids upside the head. I would never do that, and I never have. But I mean, metaphorically.
Okay.
Well, they'd put them in their place. So you don't talk like that in public. Smart enough, right?
Yeah. It's
well, you don't talk like that anyway.
Yeah, it's this kind of thing is not something that I at all condone, of course.
No, I don't think atheists would do this. These are probably like
that's true.
What group it is.
We understand a little better what the Abrahamic religions are all about, and that they're really no different. None of the three distinct ones. And where is it? Oh yeah, on on the Twitter feed, Iqra Khalid, who is the Muslim Liberal MP that brought in M103, Islamophobia motion. And she said, hatred has no place in our society and country. I strongly condemn this act of hatred and reaffirm that this is not what our Canada is about. Our Canada is about diversity being our strength. I hope the perpetrators will be held accountable. And I'm like, perpetrators? I don't think this qualifies as hate speech under sections 318, 319, and 320 of the Criminal Code. It's a gray area of the law, and to be honest, I hate speech laws.
Yeah, and I think the social repercussions they're going to, face having, like we say, free speech has its consequences, and, now those people have been made asses of, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
What group was that though again? I'm sorry, I missed that.
It was parents. It was just parents.
What?
It was parents at a school board meeting.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a problem with hate speech laws, but I think they directly contravene Section 2 of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which guarantees freedom of expression. And that's why they're great.
Incitement to violence, right?
Yeah, this sounded insane.
Well, that's an interpretive thing.
I wouldn't want my child anywhere near this.
That is an interpretive thing. I mean, people have, like, Bill Watcott was charged under these sections of the criminal code, and he was only posting not even the quotes, but the actual Bible verses, just where you could look them up, and that's what got him on the hook for hate speech laws. I don't agree with that. I think that was well within the boundaries of free expression. Just because that speech, you don't like it, I mean, it's in the Bible. It's right there. You can find it.
It's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah. That's a pretty loose interpretation of the sections of the criminal code that it's hate propaganda is what those are about. I do not agree with. It's just too easy to abuse. I mean, somebody's offended. Well, so what? You cannot give offense. It's really difficult to do that. You have to take offense.
Yeah.
Well, I've offended people on purpose before.
Well, they still took it. It doesn't matter whether.
Like, I'm really, that's another,
You
I think it's kind of a catchphrase. And another one that just came up in this conversation was, diversity is our strength. Oh my God. I'm just so sick of hearing it. I mean, it's true, and but wow, was that not something Hillary Clinton came up with?
No, it's actually a biological thing. Diversity in a species allows you to survive. Like if you have a diversity of stuff you can eat, but if you can only eat eucalyptus leaves, those koalas have a higher chance of going extinct than we do with our very advanced or diverse diets. So, and diversity in your gene pool, of course, ensures that diversity of being able to survive diseases or situations or as a species. So you can blame biology for that one. The fact that Hillary was scientifically literate, I like that about her.
Yeah, I'm just tired of hearing the slogans tossed around. Like, I don't disagree with it, but
yeah, it gets a little old. I mean, there's conservatives here that are like, because the NDP talk about diversifying the economy, I have conservatives that say, if I hear that one more time, okay. Well, they want to know what it means.
I don't mean to be the whatever. Yeah, I don't mean to be the whatever, but there's just some phrases that are just, I'm just sick and tired over and over and over again, right?
Explain it too.
It's like a popular song that you've heard for 50 years, and it just keeps playing and playing and playing in the radio until you just don't want to, hear it anymore, right?
Yeah. We're not children. We don't like this repetition.
Yeah.
Oh well. Well, I hope
even Sam agrees that those folks are Islamophobes, and Sam is very outspoken against the term Islamophobe.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And hello, Sam. Everybody should call in.
Everybody should call in. Yeah, that's true.
Yet, but yeah.
Sure. Well, they can start calling in. That's fine.
Or toward the end.
Well, we only have one other thing. It's the Count Dankula thing. The
Nazi pug.
Yeah, the Nazi pug, which was clearly a joke. I mean, come on. He was doing it to annoy his girlfriend. Ricky Gervais came out in support of him. I mean, if it was supposedly grossly offensive, and I'm like, yeah, well, so what? That's what comedy is, folks. It's
well, Roseanne did it. She baked some gingerman cookies dressed as Hitler in an oven, burnt the cookies. That's part of a sketch with Heat magazine. I mean, if you're gonna let that pass, you're gonna let the pug have a pass. I think it's disgusting.
Why didn't they arrest the dog? The dog was the one doing the.
Well, another one
No, I
that's
wasn't
bringing
talking
up
about
is
Roseanne, but-
Faulty Towers and the that particular episode. Don't say the word Nazi or whatever it is. Don't mention the war. Yeah.
So Mark Meechan, 30, recorded his girlfriend's pug, Buddha, responding to statements such as "gas the Jews" and "Sieg Heil" by raising its paw. But police were alerted, and he was arrested for allegedly committing a hate crime. The problem is, no one can find out who it was who called the police, and it sounds like it was the police themselves that were offended. Where is it? There was a... Yeah, he did it to annoy his girlfriend. I won't name her.
Well, I hope she dumped him. Just that would be the proper consequence of this. Not calling.
No, she didn't.
Really?
I think he learned a lot.
I've seen footage of her, and she's gone into court with him and stuff like that, right? So.
Yeah, this is the weird thing.
I think they have a leg to stand on. It's just disgusting, but
well, they
go.
He was being
Roseanne did a magazine spread like that, like crepes. No one called the cops. She has a fucking show again.
Yeah, but this is UK versus
yeah, they don't have
American
an explicit
laws,
freedom
right?
of speech.
Yeah.
Sheriff Derek O'Carroll found him guilty of a charge under the Communications Act that he posted a video on social media and YouTube which was grossly offensive. Oh noes. Let's see what my response to that. Come on,
much as I'd like Roseanne to go to jail over her spread, this is ridiculous.
Triggered. Yeah. Sheriff O'Carroll told the court he did not believe Meechan had made the video only to annoy his girlfriend and ruled it was anti-Semitic. Yeesh. So he basically was arrested because he was grossly offensive.
Roasting gingerbread men dressed as Hitler is kind of anti-Semitic.
No, it's anti-Nazi.
It's anti-Nazi,
isn't
totally.
it? Yeah, and so is what he was doing. He was like making fun of Nazis. He wasn't defending them.
Roseanne was being a Nazi.
Well, she's a bit right, shall we say.
I don't know about that one. I hadn't really seen that one, but...
Yeah, she's dressed as Hitler with the mustache, wearing swastikas, burning gingerbread men in an oven for a magazine.
Yeah.
This is not illegal. It shouldn't be illegal for the puppy either. It's disgusting. Yes, there should be some consequences, but it's not illegal. Boy.
It is there, apparently.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Crazy.
We're a Commonwealth country, so that's setting a precedent that very unlikely, I think, but it could affect us being part of the Commonwealth.
Not since 1981. When we
not
had the Constitution and
that
the Charter.
their laws like that would, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we do too. We seek out precedent from the Commonwealth countries before we do the U.S.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have the freedom of expression
ridiculous,
clause.
But
yeah,
the whole thing I think is ridiculous. I mean, comedy is offensive. Speaking of Ricky Gervais, I was our gay correspondent Shane, sent me like, hey, you should watch his new Netflix show Humanity, and I'm like, I'm not usually a huge Ricky Gervais fan. Then what's his name? David Gorski retweeted somebody who was complaining, it has a transphobic joke in there, don't watch this. And of course that's like waving a red piece of cloth in front of a bull to me, right? Like, okay, I've got to watch this now. So, and I got halfway through it and I turned it off, not because I didn't want to see the rest, but because I thought my wife's got to see this, and so we watched it and just laughed while drinking. It was just it's a really good show. So go to Netflix, you'll enjoy it. It's not transphobic. It's just funny. And so there's your plug, Ricky. Now, where's my kickback?
Yeah, we want one too. I have to correct something.
Yeah.
Sam had said those people were Islamophiles. And then he responded, there are no Islamophobes. Fearing Islam is rational and reasonable. So
an Islamophile is someone who loves Islam.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, he's distinguishing,
Phobia
from fear of Islam on that take is a rational, reasonable thing to fear. And
oh yeah, it's totally rational. Islamism is absolutely something to fear, and it's something that, especially in Britain. I mean, it's whoops, not that. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I hit the wrong thing. Now let's get
Islamophobia versus Muslim phobia.
Yeah. Come on, you stupid thing. Get out of there. Jeez. There. Good. Whew. That'll be erased from the audio version, but anyway. So, if anybody wants to call in, you can call in now. There's a delay here, about 40 seconds between what we say and you guys hearing it. So I'll just sort of sit here, drum my fingers.
We had Nate had joined us at one point, and so had Frank, who runs Nerd Night here in Calgary.
Okay.
So maybe they're still on the line, and Stuart joined us.
Yeah, call in.
Sam.
Say hello.
So, yeah. Come on, call in.
Hey, we'll plug Nerd Night. I want to know more about Nerd Night.
What's that?
I want to know
that sells out within like 5 minutes every time it's the tickets go on sale, hey?
I've never heard of it. What is this?
It's basically an evening where there's 3 talks for about 50 minutes long. It's held in a I'm sorry, I don't know where it's held now. I can't remember the name of it, but it was in a microbrewery, Wild Rose microbrewery for a bit there.
Oh, yeah.
And they needed to expand their venue because they're just, getting that popular, right? I spoke at their first one, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, along with Graham Christensen. At that time, he was like shortlisted for the Mars expedition.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of disappeared off the face of the Earth, the Mars mission.
Yeah. That picture.
Yeah.
That's... Never mind.
Well, budget.
What else is going on? It's nothing else that I got on the docket. I think that was all the stuff we were gonna talk about tonight. But I know you wanted to talk about the pug, Christine.
Me?
Yeah, you did.
Well, we did already, basically, right?
Yeah, but
yeah. Yeah, no, I did want to bring that up because I think it's really important that we, as those who are interested in defending free speech, really need to stand up for this guy. And I guess part of I've kind of been following this, and what's his name, Tommy Robinson. That what is he? White nationalist or whatever the hell he is. Like he's come on side with that too, and and a lot of people don't want to have anything to do with it because he's involved there too, right? But like Count Dankula himself says, like sometimes people who have severe disagreements come together on an issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's kind of the right thing to do, right? So I thought it was really important that we bring that up and talk about it because, what's that saying? Like first they came for such and such, and then they came for me, right? And there was nobody left to stand up, right? So I just, that's a small part, I think, in helping with that. Even if you find the humor distasteful.
Yeah, and
you can still condemn it, but you shouldn't go go to jail for it.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, I'd rather these people speak out so I know who they are to avoid them, if at all possible.
Well, I don't think he is a racist, and they made it very clear in there he's not an anti-Semite and blah blah blah. And I've of course, the minute that came out about the pug thing, I started following him, right, which was a couple of years back because it's taken this long for it to get to trial, and he's just not like that. Like he's intelligent and articulate and really
won't do it again.
I don't think he will do that again. But
if he doesn't want to be known as an anti-Semite, you don't do it again.
But I mean, he made it so clear in the video. Like he explicitly said, "I'm not an anti-Semite. I picked the least cute thing I could think of, and that was a Nazi." Like he's condemning the Nazis. He's making fun of them.
Video. Okay, unlike what Roseanne did.
Yeah. When you first said that, I thought you were saying that she had made cookies that were meant to look like little Nazis or something and baked them, and didn't realize she was dressed up.
She's burning cookies in an oven like you know, my grandparents barely escaped from Poland themselves. Like, that could have been my grandparents. So I'm getting so sick to my stomach. But he was explicitly saying that wasn't the case. She didn't.
No, it was very.
She was like, "Oh, this is funny. This is funny."
Check it out. Like, look up Nazi pug, and it'll show up right away on Google. And I'm sorry, I have to admit that I kind of had a giggle when I saw it myself because it's just so fucked up. And you know, like you have that giggle. It's like, oh my god, I just laughed. But you know, a lot of Jewish people themselves came to say, okay, that's ridiculous and it's funny. And you know, like there's I don't know, a pretty prominent comedian that was Jewish that also, you know, took the side of him.
Are you kidding me? Most of them are. There's no such thing as like Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah. The soup Nazi, right?
Soup,
you know, you make fun of them. That's like, you know,
that guy's real.
If that's right, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have the right to make fun of Nazis, like somebody was, I forget which video I saw, like, what was the point of fighting the war if you can't mock Nazis, right?
Dressing up as a Nazi and cooking cookies like Roseanne did, that's stepping over the line.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
So that's no way incomparable.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I see the...
Well, Count Dankula is appealing, so we'll see how that goes.
I certainly hope so, because that's...
Yeah, like if he was using the dog to make fun of Nazis, that's... I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'll just bring up this one paper because I wasn't going to bring it up, but this one article in The Guardian. Hate speech leads to violence. Why would liberals defend it? We're not defending hate speech, okay? Why do I have to waste my time
making fun of Nazis? That's not hate speech. That's making fun of Nazis. Then it's just free speech.
Well, no, he wasn't talking about this in general. So I'm defending free speech. It does not mean I'm defending the speech itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the consequences.
Do people not get this?
No, I know they don't. You can condemn an act of speech while still defending the person who acted that speech.
I'll defend
their right to freedom of speech.
Yeah,
and if you don't, then who's next? I mean, really, that's crazy. And if I'm not mistaken, when that guy, it seemed to me that the neighbor was super pissed off about it too, and she, you know, went and confronted him, and then she got arrested for hate speech too. I'd have to, like, if you go back in time in the video and you find the original one, in around that time, you'll see him saying that about, you know, his neighbor, right? I mean, you know, wow, where do we draw the line here?
Yeah, you can't even condemn someone else.
Without being accused of hate speech.
Whereas you should be able to have free speech and then condemn it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, that is free speech. Condemning free speech is also free speech.
Yes, it is.
You know,
condemning. Hopefully, it's not. If something leads to violence, if you're saying "go kill my neighbor," that's
hate speech.
No,
that's hate speech.
It's incitement.
Yeah.
It's actually it's probably conspiracy to commit murder, but
which is even worse.
Well, on. That
not hate speech. Hate speech is towards a demographic, right? A minority or whatever. So your neighbor's not a demographic. Well, he could be. I mean, he or she could
be. I don't even know. My neighbor's been so cold that I'm not going outside.
I don't even think my friends recognize me the way I dress up and bundle up.
It was minus 29 with the wind chill.
You
like,
pussy.
Come on.
Stop already.
All these pussies.
April. It was April 1st. It was minus 29. I'm like, this is no joke.
Yeah. Celsius, people.
It doesn't matter at that point. I mean, it's just cold. Fahrenheit, Celsius, minus 20 is cold in both. So.
Yeah, minus 40. You wouldn't think that minus 40 could be, you know, like how bad is minus 20? And then when it gets to like minus 40, it's like, holy shit, it really can get worse.
Luckily, it doesn't get like that around here too much.
No, but when it does, it's the whole city's miserable.
Yeah, it's dry. My sinuses actually bleed.
Yeah.
So,
anybody on the chat? Anybody on the chat? Anybody? Anybody?
Let's see.
Bueller.
Stuart is promoting Frank's channel, Frank's Nerd Night. Stuart, phone in. Okay, the new venue for Nerd Night is Worst, and they sell out in under a minute usually, he says.
Wow, good job.
Oh, he's just going to say hi because he's on the phone, but he wanted to, and if we want to share this link, I will post it in the
chat window.
Chat, I guess. Yep. Thank you, Stuart. There we go. And I could even post it on Facebook. And YouTube.
Is that Wild Rose Brewery, is that still on in the old Curry Barracks area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're still there. Yeah, I remember. They used to have, well, they probably still do have that little restaurant on the side of the brewery.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Wild Rose is good beer.
Yeah, and they've got like a separate room that Nerd Night was being held in. So,
cool.
Yeah. I guess they'll have openings now on every, third Thursday of the month or something? Sorry, I'm not.
Speaking of which, there's Skeptics in the Pub on Tuesday, April 3rd. Yeah. Which will be at the, what is the place again? The Pig and
Duke.
Pig and Duke?
Yeah.
On 11th or 12th or something like that. Anyway.
I think it's 12th, but
Google it, people.
I just drive there. I've grown up here. I don't know the names of the streets. I know landmarks.
Yeah.
It's like, it's by this. Oh, okay. I guess maybe we should talk about the new Calgary group called the Atheist, hang on, let me remember it, ASC, Atheist Society of Calgary, the newly formed group. Yeah. And CFI is not here anymore.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, CFI Calgary is gone.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Fallout from the
Pride.
Gay Pride
thing.
Thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm good riddance. CFI is gone.
To social justice?
Yeah, social
justice. I mean, it was supposed to be about...
Oh, hang on.
Rights
and CFI is not gone.
It's not?
Stuart says it's not gone. And Skeptics in the Pub is at the Pig and Duke, 12th and 12th, Southwest.
12th and 12th, yeah, that's right.
So who took over?
Stuart, bonus.
Yeah.
Bonus.
Tell us these things.
So it's not gone, but I mean, I think it's got to be on its last gasps.
He said just most of the leaders have moved to ASC.
Okay.
So anyway, Stuart, phone us.
What else? Yeah, phone number 1-587-288-1067, and it's at the bottom of the screen if you're watching Facebook or YouTube, and if you're not, why aren't you? Yeah.
I miss all those cool groups in Calgary. You guys even have Unitarian churches there. Ours kind of died out here. So it's hard to find a place to meet in Red Deer.
There's an issue in Lethbridge with anti-choice banners going up. You know, the same thing that we have here in Calgary all the time. You know,
gross pictures.
So it would be lovely if you'd phone in too, Sam.
Yeah. Lethbridge is always fighting crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Seems like the further south you go here,
there's a lot of pro-choice candidates or not pro-choice, anti-choice candidates in southern Alberta. You know, Social Credit.
Yeah.
They actually still exist. Social Credit.
They do. I've seen them on the ballot here.
Yeah, and you know they were in power for a long time before the Conservatives, and they just disappeared like poof.
Well, now most of them are part of the Wild Rose, I think.
Yeah.
Already.
Good old Wild Rose.
Sam says that the campaign is there, but they're not gross like the images we see here.
Oh, okay.
Which is interesting. Yeah.
Maybe they've toned it down a little bit. I mean, I could put up pictures of excised spleens and say, "Oh, stop the madness."
Yeah.
You know,
Stuart's on the phone.
or tumors.
He has to go.
Tumors. Yeah, I could post pictures of bloody tumors that have been removed from patients. Oh, stop! Who will think of the tumors? That's the same reasoning, right?
Randy and his. Remember when he did that thing where he dug his fingers into somebody's stomach?
Oh yeah. What do they call that?
It was actually
psychic
chicken
surgery
gizzard or something.
It was bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon was what they used, or some people use bacon. Yeah, psychic surgery is such BS.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. James Randi. I wonder if he's finally slowed down.
He did. He kind of retired.
Yeah.
There won't be another amazing meeting.
And that's so sad because I have such good memories of.
Well, no, but there's
amazing
CSI Con now. That's essentially.
Oh, okay.
Many of the same people,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. CSI is part of JRF.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, that's all I got, folks. That's all I got. Nothing else. I'm out of. Unless you want to talk about that stupid game review in Forbes. I mean, it's playing. Yeah, Far Cry 5, which is a game that I really like playing, and somebody said, "Well, it's too apolitical," and I'm just like,
"It's a video game.
Video game. You don't play it for the politics. You play it to get away from the politics. You idiot."
Yeah,
Oh.
I want to escape the real world when I'm playing video games.
I want to be able to kill people without any legal repercussions,
or to get stuck in a. I play Dragon Age myself, and you can put people in the dungeon.
I haven't done Dragon Age in a while, but
I play Scrabble.
Dragon Age Inquisition. Yeah, how can you politicize Scrabble?
Yeah. Well, you only use words that like Islamism or.
Yeah, actually, my former mother-in-law and my ex-husband's aunt and I played a game of Scrabble where we had to use nothing but dirty words, and if we couldn't come up with a dirty word, then we had to make a story up around how we could justify that as being a dirty word, right? So, yeah.
Like Swifty.
Terrible. Oh, it was great. Like some wine, and it was fun.
That would be hilarious, but how do you make up a dirty word? It would just have to be a word that sounds disgusting somehow.
Getting swifty.
Say shit or fuck or something like that,
well,
right?
Those are real ones.
If you could only come up with, and or something, then, you'd have to come up with a story to make it sound dirty, right? It was fun. I'm even wondering if maybe my family might have trained a dog or two to do things that might not be
politically correct.
You mean like shag someone's leg or something?
What's that?
You mean like shag
just follow
someone's
a
leg?
certain command with an politically incorrect term, like like for example, Willow, right? Kara wants her to know that instead of calling hey, do you want to go for a walk? She says, hey, do you want to go for a beer run? And of course the dog responds to the word beer run, right?
Awesome.
All right.
I don't come from a screwed up family.
I love your family.
I know, they're pretty awesome. Definitely raised with a sense of humor, and that's been a huge survival mechanism for me. I don't think there's anything more important than a sense of humor. Yeah.
One of my sons brings that to the table really well, so he tried to pull an April Fool's joke, but right afternoon I was like, yeah, right. And he's like, Mom, shut up.
Well, I think we should close out. And
okay.
It's going to be early night. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Don't forget next Sunday.
Well, Sam is saying that tumors do feel pain, and he's very offended. How dare you abort them? Yeah.
Yes.
Oops. They are alive. You've killed the tumors.
All right. I guess we can say our goodbyes, and it's time to
Happy
go
Easter.
to bed. Yeah. Don't worry.
Good weekend.
Jesus was dragged out of his tomb. Yeah, Jesus is dragged out of his tomb. Whether he sees his shadow or not, he ain't coming back. There's no second coming, folks. Don't worry about it.
I saw an article in Pathos that he's not a lich or what do you call it? Zombie. They argued that he wasn't either. It was pretty funny.
Okay.
So
I like Happy Zombie Jesus Day.
Unique.
It's a very lovely greeting.
We need a new classification for Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, good night, everybody.
Good night. That was fun. Thank you.
You've been listening to the Legion of Reason diversion coming to you from Alberta, Canada. If you enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing to our bi-weekly podcast on iTunes and other podcatchers. Even better, subscribe to our YouTube live sessions where you can join in on the discussion. Thanks for giving us a